Hello, beautiful Capricorn friends. I am so excited to hang out with you all, explore this month. I took a month off from doing the readings, so I didn't do February readings, which felt really weird, but it was also so refreshing. And coming back, I realized how much I just love doing these and how much I missed it. And Capricorn, what a month March is, especially for you all. I feel like this month is really important symbolically. Every time I check in with or Capricorn, sorry, I think about the journey that Capricorn has been on for the last, I don't know what, 4 years or something. With the Saturn work, the Pluto work, the South Node work, there was this whole arc that happened for you all. And slowly but surely, these energies have been shifting. Oh, and Jupiter too. They've been shifting over, moving over to Aquarius and then Pisces, and the North Node or the South Node is now in Scorpio. It's been easing off. And then I was thinking about this month. So we have this really potent Pisces energy, right? We've got a new moon in Pisces, the sun's moving through Pisces, Mercury is moving through Pisces, Jupiter and Neptune are moving through Pisces. We're working with Piscean energy, which first of all flows so beautifully with Capricorn, right? This is all about being able to express yourself well, understand others well, and have the ability to connect and share and not feel so isolated in it all. And that can be really, really helpful for work, for creativity, for projects, for ideas, for just expressing and being a part of the world, right? So it's really, really great energy for you all. But there's this other thing happening this month while that new moon is happening in Pisces that I think is really important for me to just take a moment here in March. So at the beginning of March, Pluto, Mars, and Venus are all going to be conjunct in your sign. And this is so symbolic. First of all, because I think we're coming to the last degrees that Mars and Venus are going to be in your sign. They are both going to move on very soon. But this is also just this moment of completion for Capricorn at the beginning of the month during this new moon. This is a moment of absolution and rest and just culmination of, I think, a really, really long learning trajectory that's been going on for many, many years. It's really symbolic and beautiful. And then that's followed up with a full moon in Virgo, which is all about the big expansive vision and where you want to play and explore in your life. And then that's followed by the equinox, the end of the Western astrological new year, the beginning of a new year with Aries season, and also then the activation of a whole bunch of fourth house energy, which is about what makes you feel at home and rested. So with all of that being said, this is a symbolically rich month for you all. This is a month that can really help you to release. And the message that came up, when I started to feel through your energy, see what was going on, get a sense of it all, was this. Are you tired of homework yet, Capricorn? Y'all are very studious. You're very good at being on your game, making sure things are getting done, moving, shaking, being very thorough. Yes, I love it. I love that energy. I get it. This is a month about, maybe you don't have to always be working on yourself. Maybe you don't always have to be trying to heal all of the trauma and be, at your best all of the time. I think sometimes, when we feel like we have to just keep healing, keep doing the spiritual homework, keep doing the practical homework, we gotta just keep on that train. Our whole lives have to be this trajectory, an XY graph going straight up and to the right. We actually hold ourselves prisoner in this weird, never-ending chart that just goes on forever and then becomes so relative that nothing exists, right? And so I think my invitation here, with that big conjunction of Mars, Venus, and Pluto in your sign, with all the energy moving through Pisces with the end of this astrological year, you can just put down the homework. You don't need to be done healing. You don't need to, have everything sorted. You don't need to have some big aha moment this month in order for it to be a really great month. In fact, as soon as you let that go, I can almost guarantee you this month is going to offer you what you need. Card wanted to come out. Ace of Wands. There it is, baby. I love it, Capricorn. I just love it. Yeah. I think, and I've found myself in this place too, where I work with my therapist and I do my meditations and I try and eat some good food and be really present and do all the things. And I'm doing all the things. And, that's great. I'm happy I'm doing all of that. But if my goal was to get to some, perfect spot, right? If I start getting into a mindset where it's like, well, I've just got to clean up these couple places in my brain and fix the energy in my body, and then I'll be just perfect and I'll just be on auto. How unrewarding is that, right? I think for me, when I think about doing this stuff, it's I just have to love that, there are parts of myself that I call them my rescue dog selves, that are vigilant and get worried and get scared and need a lot of support and comfort. And I don't know, they may never leave me in this life. Maybe they will. Maybe they will always be there. And I'm not going to fight it anymore, right? And so Hermit, I love it. Oh my gosh, the spiritual wisdom of the Hermit is always a welcome sight. We'll talk about it in just a moment. 5 of Cups. I love it too. It's not even false positivity. I tell you, I've been working with tarot for so many years, and I see and work with the deck in a way that I think just comes from when you work with something so intimately for so long, it changes the way you work. Yeah, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But letting that go just allows me to be. And I didn't even tell you what I'm doing. So I'm pulling a final card from my Oracle of the Hidden Worlds deck. It's so beautiful. You have gotten the Tree of Illumination. Truth, revelations, understanding. Oh, it's just so beautiful. That just makes me feel like I'm going to have a big exhale. Okay, let's talk about these cards. All right, Ace of Wands, new beginnings, right? This is a sprig of just creative ideas and renewal and energy in motion, and new ideas popping, when you've had a really slow season, you just haven't felt creative. You haven't felt new ideas or new questions or new areas of interest have popped up. And then suddenly you just see a painting or you're just sitting there on the couch and something clicks. That's what for me Ace of Wands is. It's that kind of sense of playfulness and new beginnings and just being I just want to try that out. That just looks fun. That just sounds interesting, right? And the Ace of Wands, I think, is important in our conversation when I was talking about doing the homework and being really studious and being on top of your game and making sure you're doing the healing and making sure you're going through and all of that. We don't need for that to be done in order for us to just be with Ace of Wands. We can just be with Ace of Wands and we can just play and we can just see what comes. We don't have to finish the project of ourselves. In fact, the Ace of Wands is the process. It's just a different facet of it. So there's just play, this is a time. If there's a part of you, if you have just 5 minutes to play with whatever that means for you, whatever play is for you, use it, go for it, see what wants to come in. Now we also have the Hermit, and I love the Hermit. I know a lot of people, they see this card and they think this is about sitting at home, watching Netflix for the next 10 years. No. No. The Hermit is our elder wisdom inside of ourselves. This is the lantern light in the heart of ourselves. This is a wisdom that is so deep. It's in the earth, right? This is when I think of mountain goats, right? Capricorn, I think about the mountain. I think about the roots of the mountain. I think about how the mountain is connected to all these layers of earth beneath the crust and magma and molten lava, all these things that are so deep, right? They're so deep that we can access them anytime. They're just waiting for us to acknowledge them. This is that voice at the base of your spine, at the pit of your stomach, that allows you to know what is right for you. And, Ace of Wands and Hermit for me are very primal energies. They're very simple. This is not about analyzing our way into our allowance of being creative, of following a path, of being in love or doing whatever. This is about something just true that sits and gives us this sense of peace and knowing. And Capricorn, you're being asked time and again to return to this. Return to your friends, these gifts, creative action, listening to the deep, deep knowing. My favorite question to ask when I want the deep, deep knowing is, what can I say is true right now in this moment? I'm always amazed at the simple things, the simple sentences that will come to me that I can work with. If I don't know anything else, if I don't have answers for anything else, that question alone will give me the wisdom. And it's very Hermit wisdom. It's very deeply spiritual wisdom. Now, we do have this Five of Cups, so let's address it, because I know, this card is associated with grief. It's associated with feeling feelings. It's associated with something being lost, right? But what I see in this card, and all of that can be true, right? But what I see in this card is a figure standing in a doorway. It's a doorway. You have the thing that has been spilled, lost, right? Changed. And you have the thing here with the two upright cups that is beckoning. And on this side, we also have the bridge to a new landscape. We have all of this stuff going on. And this is a really important part of the process because we need to acknowledge how we have changed and transformed, right? We need to find some peace and allow ourselves to feel whatever it is we need to feel about how we have grown and changed. And that is a big theme in March, because the last 2 years have been challenging. And for Capricorns, the last, 5 years have been really, really, really deep and intense. And while I'm saying, we don't have to keep being, dogging ourselves and trying to heal everything and be over the trauma. And, that was never the goal. But what we can do is we can find some grace. We can find some absolution with all those past selves, and we can feel those feelings and we can let them release and move through us, physically process through us, so that we have the energy to move forward. And I think, this month, because we have that big conjunction with Pluto in your sign, because it's the end of the year, the astrological year, because it's Pisces season, this is a really, really great time to feel any feelings that are ready to be felt and released, right? Some things aren't like that, like the grief of losing people we love. Some of the griefs that we have in life, it's not really about processing it and then just going on. But I think the kind of griefs that I'm talking about are the kind of things that are shifting. There are often things just acknowledging how we've changed as our own person, right? Or acknowledging how our routine has changed, our world has changed, and finding peace in that. And those are the things that sometimes we can feel that sense that they're ready to be processed and let go, so that we can be here for what is here. And I think that's really what Five of Cups is about. Now let's get into this oracle card, because I love it. The Tree of Illumination. Truth, revelations, understanding. This tree, it's that tree where you have the root system going down into the earth, and you have the point going up into the sky, and you have that connection between them, which is, often described in yoga poses or in doing meditation, where you feel your sit bones and you feel the top of your head. That's really, this card is representing that feeling. And I would recommend, sitting in meditation and feeling that you are rooted to the ground, but also that you're getting insights from the bigger wisdom. And there's this beautiful face up there too. Wow, look at that. So cool. This is about something coming, an aha moment, honestly, right? It's when we sit down and we listen to the Hermit. We listen to the emotions that are held in our bodies. We listen to those electrical impulses that want to come through. We listen. We don't just We don't just like brush them to the side and say, oh yeah, those are always there, but I just kind of ignore them because they're inconvenient when I'm trying to get something done. These are the things that are leading us to something, right? And for you, there's going to be an aha moment this March, I think. An understanding of what it is, an understanding of something that maybe you've been wondering if you'll ever understand, right? And sometimes we don't get those answers, right? And it's not about really the everything happens for a reason. It's not really what I'm going for. I think it's more like something clicks inside of ourselves for how we understand how we live in this world. And also, like, I think for me, the Tree of Illumination, that's about you also clicking into something that is meant for you and opening in your heart now. It's not just about processing the past or processing how intense it's been for the Capricorn journey. I think it's also about clicking into something here and now that's opening from you. I think that's even more important. And I feel like I've spent a little too much time in this chat actually talking about the processing of other emotions, because I think what really is going to be pulling at you is this sense that you click into something that you didn't even know you're about to click into, that's calling you forward. I can just feel that. I can just feel it. Such beautiful energy. Like, this was a really soulful read. I'm feeling very touched by this whole conversation. I mean, maybe that's a weird thing to say because I'm just sitting here by myself, but it's making me think about a lot of themes and topics and what it means to be in this life. So I think it's always a good sign in my book. I feel like I just scratched the surface of March. I'm always like, there's just so much. How do I even cover it all? That's why on Patreon, I'm able to do that, because every single week we chat about what's going on in the week itself and how to work with it. And we also activate all of the moons and we do worksheets. And it's just a really great way for me to give you that extra support if you are looking for that. I would love to see you there. You can also find me on my Instagram. There's only one True Sarah, so I will leave the handle for that below, so you know where to find me. And you can find me on my website and my email. So I'm gonna leave all the goodies below. I obviously want to see you here. I love being here. I missed it so much being away for a month. So thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you'll stick around. I will talk to you so soon, my beautiful Capricorn friends. Have a gorgeous March, and see you in the astrological new year.